The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, proud sponsor of the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live here on the patio tonight. And each week, it's a gift to come out and play baseball talk with Coach Vierra and some players as this team continues to move through the playoffs. We keep bringing the Coaches Show back for another week, and tonight we get to talk about it and celebrate a best-of-3 series win over the A&M Consolidated Tigers last weekend. Your Georgetown Eagles advanced 2-1. And a battle it was. Some great baseball witnessed in those 3 games, and some performances that we'll talk about tonight. We have 3 of the players here tonight to talk about that. Some performances to be proud of, that they need to be recognized, and it would be fun to kind of get inside what their minds were thinking as the pressure was put on in different aspects, defensively, offensively, on the mound. And we'll get to talk to the super. I call him the super sophomore. He's the only sophomore on this team, but he came in Game 3 and pitched 6 innings of beautiful baseball to lead this team to a good 7-1 win in Game 3 to advance in the playoffs. And then we'll talk to Ranger. Will be out here in Bullseye. That's Brady Peters, and Devin Peterson will join us as well. A series for both of those 2 players as well. And so it'll be fun to kind of go over and mull over this victory over the Consolidated Tigers in the area round, and then look forward to Lake Creek and the Lions here in the regional quarterfinals. And we'll be at Mumford, Texas, and we'll talk about that. But this week, we will have it again live on SHN. We received a notification from UIL today that we were awarded the streaming broadcast rights, and so we'll bring it to you free of charge. Thanks this week to an anonymous donor that just wants to be appreciative and show thanks to all of the donors that support Georgetown Eagle Baseball. And we will have that put out next during the games. Kelly will get that thrown together tonight, and we'll honor all of those sponsors that have brought you Eagle Baseball all year long and supported Georgetown Eagle Baseball. But anonymous donors making sure that the playoffs continue to be free live for you here on SHN. And so enjoy it this week. We'll be live 7 o'clock tomorrow night, 6:45 pregame against the Lions of – I lost it again. Lake Creek out of Montgomery, Texas. I get lost in it because I want to say Montgomery. I thought we might get and play a home and home and get to go. My mom lives in Montgomery, and so I thought I was going to get to go and then talk trash to her on the way out of town. But we'll be in Mumford, Texas, and if you don't know where it is, just Google it and follow directions because it's not anywhere normal. But it's a beautiful complex, and it's going to have covered seating. So come out and enjoy Eagle Baseball tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday if necessary. For Game 3 if it gets to that point. But the Eagles are victorious in the by-district over Navarro in the area round against A&M Consolidated, and now the regional quarterfinals will take place starting tomorrow night live from Mumford High School in Mumford, Texas. We'll take a quick time out, and we'll lure over the infamous baseball coach, Jordon Vierra. He'll join us, and we'll talk about this series before we start visiting with some of the Eagle players. You're listening to the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live here on SHN at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street. We'll be right back on SHN. Back here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street. Proud sponsor of the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Another week brought to you by the Golden Rule, and we appreciate it each and every week out here on the patio and enjoying a beautiful day. I tell you what, beautiful weather compared to what we traipsed through last week with all the rain and storms, and we got a baseball series in the middle of it all. But head coach Jordon Vierra joins us, and coach, I tell you what, a fun series of baseball, some good baseball, some bad baseball. But overall victorious and moving on in the playoffs. A good three-game series against the A&M Consolidated Tigers. Some talented kids over there. But I tell you what, so many things you could talk about. The performance on the mound Thursday night, Nolan John Dahl in a big 2-1 win on a walk-off base hit to jump up in the series, and then a tough loss at Consolidated.
Yeah.
But then capped off with a beautiful game 3 back home on Saturday, and a performance by several players, but a pitching performance by the super sophomore David Fluitt to come out with that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
You talk about that, and that's one thing I wanted to ask you. It's kind of like I was talking to Nolan John Dahl. It's kind of like last year for him. We leave New Braunfels headed home going, we play tomorrow. Hey, by the way, you're on the mound, sleep night, get a good night's rest. Super sophomore. Fluitt had the same pressure, but as a sophomore to get on that mound and pitch the way he did.
Right.
Talk about that performance and the confidence that you and the coaching staff have in to put David out there in that situation and how this team reacted.
Yeah, he knew going into the series that if we got to Game 3, the ball was going to be in his hand, and it's kind of been the rotation that we've kind of ran with throughout the course of the season is him being our Saturday starter. As he prepared for that throughout the course of the week, he knew that was what was going to happen, and we got in that situation. He did what he's done all year, been able to be in the strike zone quite a bit, been able to throw a ton of strikes and be able to command it where he needs to, and be ready to go. One thing that we've talked about a lot is pressure is perceived, and pressure is a privilege, right? If you get to be in a situation where it feels like there's pressure on you, that's something that you've earned the right to be a part of. And David was able to earn that right to be able to be in that position. So, he did exactly what we anticipated he would do, which is be able to throw a 3-pitch mix for strikes and be able to compete. He was able to do something that nobody's ever done, which talked me into keeping him out there for another out after it took a mound visit. So it was really fun to watch him in Game 3. It was really fun to watch our guys in Game 1 be able to stay in the middle of the fight after giving up one early, and then find a way to scratch one, and then be able to walk it off late, and watch them compete in a close ball game with Nolan's pitching on the mound, Kyle coming in behind him to keep us right where we need to be. Game 2, we stumbled early in the first inning, made a couple of defensive miscues, made a couple of mistakes, and allowed them to be in situations that we ultimately didn't want them to be in, and they were able to capitalize on it in Game 2. Riley did a great job of still staying in the strike zone and doing a great job there, and hats off to their freshmen that threw a gem of a game for them. So Game 2 was that nail biter of are we going to be able to make it happen? And then Game 3, our guys really did a great job of staying in the moment, not allowing the moment to get too big, but just understanding that we got an opportunity to play for Game 3, and our guys did a great job of doing that.
What a response by your guys on Game 3. You talk about it, in all facets, pitching, defense, offense. The bats got on fire, a 3-run inning in the bottom of the first, started things off offensively, and that has to help Fluitt settle down on the mound and get that confidence that the offense is going. But then defense in the top of the first inning, first pitch of the game, right out of the hand of Fluitt. You get a line drive out to center field, a great play made by Devin Peterson to get that first out. Now that settles people down.
Yeah.
The response by that team, defensively, offensively, and even on the mound, spoke volumes about this team in the way they handled that loss on Friday night, the drive home in the bus, and knowing that Saturday morning came a new day and it's time to go perform. How big is that to build that confidence? Was that a big confidence builder for this team as we continue to move forward?
For sure. Once you experience the fire, and especially a series like that where you got to go 3 games, you got to walk off one, you got to play an early game on Saturday after not getting home until after midnight Friday night, and to experience what the fire actually feels like, and then be actually able to step out and compete the way that they did. That's huge for our guys going forward, right? Knowing that they can turn around after a loss and find a way to win. They can turn that around and be able to go back out and continue to fight for pitches one at a time. And so being able to have that knowledge and be able to have that experience is something that we've leaned on. And if there's been one trait that I would say that this team's done a really good job of is experiencing the fire, learning from the mistakes, learning from the good things that we did as well, and then allowing those traits to continue to move forward. I was talking to some buddies of mine that follow us and was talking about our tournament schedule coming out 5 and 10, right? And then these guys learned those lessons through that rough 3-week stretch, and they haven't allowed a lot of those mistakes to come back through district play and since then. And so when you get into a close ball game like you did on Thursday night, and then turning it over into Saturday, our guys took a lot of knowledge notes from those experiences and has allowed them to move forward. So to answer your question shortly, yes.
How hard was it to keep them from getting down on themselves after the performance Friday night, a tough loss on the road? How easy or hard was it for you guys to keep them, to get them right back into the fold and ready to go for Game 3?
Not at all. I told them in the locker room the other day in our pre-practice meeting that, I fully expect to get on the bus and seeing Daubers being down and everything else. And message is very clear of hey, we're not done. We dropped one today, but guess what? We get to go back over to our place. We get to have David Fluid on the mound. We get to have all of our bullpen pieces ready to rock and roll, and they got nothing left, so let's make this happen. And the bus exploded, got super loud. We went over to Whataburger, ate a nice little burger for a minute, hung out. There wasn't a single head down. There was nobody feeling them sorry for themselves. Everybody was smiling and feeling good, except for one guy, and then everybody else was ready to go. So, we rolled over into Saturday, and everybody showed up at the ballpark, ate a great breakfast, and moved on from there and played a great game.
It was awesome to see on Saturday as well. You saw the Sports U and Coach Griffin reaching out, hey, the guys need us, the softball girls, the guys need us, let's get out there. And it was a great crowd on Saturday, in amongst the storms and everything. You have this great complex to enjoy with the rain stayed away and a baseball game happened. It was a wonderful game, but a crowd that came out and showed out. There wasn't much from that Consolidated crowd on Saturday. They didn't have much to hang their hat on because it happened so quickly. They got down quickly, kind of like we did in Game 2.
Yeah.
But the crowd spoke volumes, and that'll be important, especially on the road. Munford not too far away, about an hour and a half drive if you drive the speed limit. If you don't, you can get there a little bit quicker. But it is in the middle of nowhere. But what a beautiful complex, covered seating, a turf field, so we'll be able to play no matter what the circumstances as long as lightning stays away. But another opportunity for this team to showcase what they're made of. Talk about this Lake Creek team that comes in out of Montgomery, the second seed out of District 21. Kudos to Georgetown and you, the only team left standing in District 23. Elgin, hard-fought battle against in their second round. They got eliminated in a tough loss there, but Georgetown stands alone, the district champs, but yet still carrying on District 23. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But then we go to number 2 at a District 21. We eliminated number 3. Now we go to number 2 in Lake Creek. What do we look for out of the Lions?
Yeah, they're very comparable defensively to A&M Consolidated. They play great defense. They play solid defense. Offensively, they're a little bit quicker. They run just a little bit better. Pitching-wise, very similar as well. They got 2 donkeys that they really rely on that are their top 2 guys. They got a couple extra arms in the bullpen that have the ability to compete in the strike zone. That they got a mix of multiple pitches and. So, our ability to get on first base and create havoc is going to be a really big deal for us this weekend. And, I told the guys today at the very end of practice before we left, no need to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. There's the 3 facets of the game that we constantly got to be good at. We got to throw strikes. We got to play quality defense, and we got to be able to get on first base. And, I firmly believe that if we're able to do those 3 things, we got a really good chance of walking out with a win this weekend and being able to move forward and keep on going. So, our guys have spent the week preparing very well and had a couple of good practices, and we're really looking forward for the opportunity to get out there tomorrow night and get after it against a quality team from Lake Creek.
Mumford High School is where we'll be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock first pitch, 6:45. We'll have the pregame live on SHN. But more importantly, come out and join us. I'd rather no one listen online and everyone fill up those stands and bring in and support these boys because – I tell you what, these kids deserve that support, and the crowds have been great, and it's a credit to the fans that do show up each and every week. It's going to be neat to see because the Georgetown Eagles softball team will be on the field right over. They're playing at Mumford in round number 4 of their district or their run through the playoffs, and so they will be there. And so get there early to watch them. They start at 6. And I guarantee they're 7:30 tomorrow. I know one of their games early.
5 on Friday.
There it was, the 5. And so get out there and support these girls and kids. You're going to have a great opportunity to support Georgetown High School. Great things continue to go on at this school, and so an opportunity to enjoy a little drive out to Mumford High School and enjoy some baseball tomorrow night at 7 o'clock first pitch for this Georgetown Eagle baseball team. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll go to the super sophomore to start it off. David Fluid will join us, and we'll talk about game number 3 and the gem that he threw on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. Quick timeout. Back at the Golden Rule here in just a second for the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Back here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live on SHN. And now joined by number 18 in the lineup. He's a sophomore, the only sophomore you'll find on the roster all year long, and that's David Fluid. David joins us. David pitched a great game, man. I tell you what, game 3, and came in and pitched 6 innings. And it's so funny, Coach said you're the first time that someone's talked him into staying out there another inning. We even played the call to the bullpen. Audio getting ready for the call to the bullpen, and all of a sudden Coach Vierra walks off and you stay on the mound. I was like, never mind, no change at the thing. So you did something right, and we're glad. You pitched a great game, so congrats on that. A big win in Game 3. Friday night, you guys leave College Station. You get your burger at Whataburger and the drive home. What's going through your mind knowing that Game 3 is the elimination game of this round, and the ball's going to be in your hand to take the mound to start the game? What kind of pressure did you have, or did you allow it to build on you and just be confident in what you've worked on all year? How was that for you?
There wasn't a lot of pressure. I knew that going into that game there was a deep bullpen behind us. And I knew that if I just did my job, that I got a bunch of bullpen up behind me that can help me out.
This year, as you've been that go-to on Saturdays, especially in the rotation with this team, did that help with your confidence, knowing that, hey, it's my turn to get on the mound and lead this team, and help you prepare for that? And it seemed like every one of you guys in Game 1, 2, and 3, Nolan, John Dahl, and Riley, and then yourself, watching the confidence as you warmed up and got going. It was just another game for you guys, and how did you allow that to happen? So many sophomores, I think the adults want to think, man, that's got to be a lot of pressure. It's got to be so much pressure. And it seemed just like another game to you. Walk out on the mound and do your job.
Yes, sir. It was just trying to do the same thing I've been doing all year. Just go out there, throw strikes.
You step on there in the first inning, have a pretty quick inning. The one guy gets on base. You guys leave him stranded. And the first pitch of the ball game, I asked you that right there on the field after. The first pitch of the ball game, a line drive hit by Kai Hood out to center field, and Devin Peterson makes that grab for out number 1. How much confidence does that give you on the mound to feel like, all right, I know the defense is locked in? You have that trust in them. We've talked about that all year with you guys and the pitching staff, that this defense is behind you. But how much confidence did that give you knowing, hey, play 1 that was difficult is already in, our defense is locked, I'm good to rock and roll? How big was that?
I mean, it gives me an incredible amount of confidence knowing that I got an outfielder that can save my butt in any play that's heading to the outfield. You
go in after a quick first inning. Your offense comes out and produces. Devin leads off with a triple. We get 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. You go out back with a lead on the mound for a second inning. Was that able to help you even more get relaxed and just throw away?
Yes, sir. Help me pitch with a lead and just know that I can just throw strikes and the defense will do the work.
How much fun to be a sophomore on this team, to be that sophomore on this team that played all year, was a key part of this team, be it at first base filling in, be it on the mound, and in key situations like this one. How much fun was that experience to know, hey, this one rides on my shoulders to go out and do my job? How much fun did you have when it was all said and done, that ride home with your dad? How much fun was it to go, wow, that was awesome?
It was a ton of fun.
Now, do you look forward to a team like this and a situation that, hey, bring me that ball, I'm ready to go? Does that build that confidence for you?
Yes, sir.
And now next year, you're going to be – Coach is going to make me sit and wait for you here in a second. next year, as you look at this season, as this has gone and been one of the key figures, you look at it, Nolan John Dahl is going to be one of the key starters with you three guys that's going to graduate and move on. Riley's going to be back for his senior year. You're going to be another key part of this team again next year. How much confidence does that give you that this year has gone the way it has, that this team has continued to improve, and you've had that confidence and that trust behind you, and the defense has in you on the mound to control things?
Yes, sir. It gives me a ton of confidence. I mean, I know that just try to do the same thing next year and just –
How ready are you guys for this weekend against Lake Creek?
I think we're pretty ready. We know that we can handle them, and that if we can just put up good ABs and good defense, that I think we can win.
Is that I think it's so funny. We talked to Nolan about that in Game 3 last year, coming in against the only Game 3 we faced against the Canyon Cougars, and weight on his shoulders to, hey, go sleep tight tonight. You're on the mound tomorrow, an elimination game. How much confidence does that give you now moving forward through the playoffs that, hey, any Game 3 I'm ready to go, or whenever Coach calls my number, I'm not worried about this? Is it kind of take that newness edge away in the playoffs and that pressure, and how does that make you ready for the future?
Yeah, it takes all that weight off of me, and I'm ready every single time I'm called up.
David Fluitt, the winner of Game 3. I tell you what a beautiful pitching performance. Went 6 full innings and then was relieved by Noah Boris in the 7th inning. He came in and shut it down just like we saw in all the other games. Pitching staff just continue to do their job. But congrats to you. What a great game that you pitched. It speaks volumes to the confidence and the composure for a sophomore to go out there in a Game 3 situation that could have gone any which way, and to control that game and give your team every advantage to win it and come away with the win. So congrats to you, Mr. Fluitt.
Thank you.
Before I let you go, any shout-outs?
Shout out Kyle Ropolo and Jacob Bachman.
Kyle Ropolo and Jake Bachman. I've called his name every game, too. You don't hear it. You're mentioned every time. One of the managers on the team, I call them all out. But it's good to see him here tonight, and Kyle Ropolo as well. So we'll let David get down. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go to the junior. We'll go to Bullseye. We'll get him up here and talk Eagle baseball with Devin Peterson after this on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Back here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live from the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, proud sponsor of the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Thanks to Mike and all the staff here at the Golden Rule for allowing us to be here each and every week. And now joined by number 17 on the roster. I call him Bullseye because we gave him that nickname several weeks back, and he continues to get hit by pitches. But his name in the roster will be Devin Peterson. He plays center field. Devin, I tell you what, man, what a fun series. But Game 3, it was right out of the box. David goes through the warm-ups. You guys hit it. We say the pressure's on. You guys seem to act like it was just another day in the park and played like it was just another day in the park. First line drive out of the box comes right at you. You make a great diving play. What's going through your mind is how important is it, one, that you're ready when that first pitch goes? I guess that shows a lot of us to be ready. That first pitch goes, be ready for them to swing, and A&M Consolidated did like to swing the bat early, which is great for our pitchers that kept their pitch counts down. What's going through your head, though, as that first pitch is delivered and you see it coming at you that way?
It's all or nothing. It's elimination from here. If you go out all, and then just if you make the play, then you make the play.
And that kind of deal, you make that first catch, end up making all three catch, kind of hogging all the outs there in the first inning in two different styles. One was kind of right at you, but the third one from Bentz at the end, a nice shot to deep left center field, and you chase it down. What's going through your head is that if you make that catch and the top of the first is over, what goes in your head at that point? Like, hey, it's all locked in, or is it, hey, now it's time to show? What goes through a center fielder's head? Your job at controlling the outfield right there and leading the team, and you did it in that inning. What's going through your mind as you come to the bullpen knowing I'm first up?
I mean, I came out with a bang on defense. Might as well come out with a bang on offense. So just bang a triple and start the game off.
What's going through your mind as you're rounding the bases there, man? As soon as you hit that ball, Trace Meadows, the center fielder, one of the a very good athlete for Consolidated, but immediately turned and realized this is not going well. A couple of hops off the wall, and you're circling around. It wasn't the most graceful slide. We have to talk about the slide at third base. You almost ended up in the dugout.
It was a little wet.
I'm glad Coach didn't feel like he needed to stop you there and then be in trouble there. But what's going to your head as soon as you hit that shot? You know it's a base hit, and it's just turn on the jets and go?
I didn't realize I hit it that hard. I didn't know it was 1-2 hopper against the wall. So I was just looking at it, rounding first, and then realized, and then turned the wheels on.
I think we all realized how wet that turf was when you laid down to slide into third base and almost kept going.
Yep.
As you stood up on third base, you hear that dugout roar, you hear that crowd roar. Now what's going through your head? Wait, this game's going well. For Devin Peterson solely, this game's on fire at this point. 3 great defensive plays, and now a triple to start this offense. Now what confidence is going through your head?
I knew if we started off hot, they'd back down because that's what our scouting report saw, and just come out with a bang and beat them down.
Took a shot there on that pass ball that went off with the glove of the catcher. Walker came home, scored that first run. What's going through the dugout at that point? What's in the mindset of you guys? Hey, let's run. It's over. What's that confidence all of a sudden? Questioning game 2 on Friday night. What's going through the mindset of that quick run there to establish kind of some dominance there in the bottom of the first as you get in the dugout? What's going through you guys as a team now?
I mean, it definitely built confidence for all of us because we were all cheering and stuff, but we still realized we still have 6 more innings to play, so we still got to go out in defense and back bottom second and still play our game.
You guys put up 3 in that inning, and the game just seemed to go in that pattern. Good baseball on both sides of it for you guys, defensively, offensively, people swinging the bat well, plays being made on the defensive side. What kind of confidence do you guys have? You go from one night you have a senior on the mound, one night you have a junior in Riley Leininger, and in game 3 you go to a sophomore. Does that change you guys' confidence in your pitchers, or is it just, hey, we're here for you and y'all go with it no matter what?
We're here for them pretty much. If they throw strikes, we're behind them. We play defense. We practice defense and practice all the time. So, I mean, we're ready.
How much fun was that watching as David continued to fire in there and run through these innings against a good quality team? They swung the bat. We saw that on Friday night. They hit well. They play good defense. As you guys put that pressure on and you saw them pressing and you see this, the lefty continuing fluid to just continue to fire in there and control this game. How much fun was that for you guys? Is that the innings keep scratching away and the finale is coming? How much fun were you guys having out on the field with that one?
I feel like we've always had confidence in Floyd. He showed it all districts, so he just basically shoved, and we go out there and play our offense and score as many runs as he can, and he does his job.
In a game like that, what's going through your mind as you've become into and kind of taken on a leadership role in this team, the captain of that outfield, running the center field position, and you've stepped up and done a great job this year, and I think a lot of people have seen that through this year, getting on base, drawing walks, scoring runs, stealing bases, making plays defensively. As you get into that, what's going through your mind and you guys that have taken over and have been the leaders on this team to keep yourselves motivated for Game 3 and not get down on Game 2? Coach talked about it that, hey, it's just another game. It's a bump in the road. We're going to go on, and we got great things to continue. How is that easy for you guys, or is it a challenge for you guys to keep that as a core without the coaches, to keep yourselves motivated and up for Game 3?
I mean, we all have each other's backs. We're always there for each other. I knew after Game 2 that their bullpen was pretty much done because they already threw all their guys. And on Saturday we still had another starter, and our bullpen was still deep enough to go how deep we wanted to go. So I had all confidence.
As we go to series number 3, we take on Lake Creek. What's going through you guys away from the coaches when you guys are in there in the locker room and you're getting ready for practices and everything? How excited and how ready is this team to move on to Game 1 tomorrow night?
We're definitely ready. We've had 3 days of practice, prepare. We know the scouting report, so we know what we're working with. So we'll just go out there and play our best, and we'll win.
How forward are you looking for tomorrow night?
A lot.
Looking forward to 1:45 tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Get called out of class and head to the bus and head over to Mumford High School, where you can come out and watch your Georgetown Eagles game number 1 against the Lake Creek Lions out of Montgomery, Texas, in the regional quarterfinals. Number 17, Bullseye. He's been hit by 13 pitches officially now, according to the Game Changer stats. Still leads the team in hit by pitches. And until something else comes up, Bullseye or I can't change it now. It's just got to stick. Bullseye is going to be leading off for us. I assume Coach's not going to change that now. But congrats to you. It was a great series, fun to watch from you guys. And good luck as you guys take on Lake Creek. Before I let you go, I always got to give you your shout-outs.
My dad, my mom, Fluid, Jake, Brady, Andrew, and Braden.
All the boys here to enjoy it tonight. Thanks for joining us here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Quick timeout. We come back. Ranger will be up here with us. Be back with Brady Peters at the Golden Rule on SHN. Here live at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, proud sponsor of the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Out here on the patio, a beautiful night, now joined by Ranger number 4, Brady Peters, senior third baseman. I tell you what, Brady, a lot of great things occurred in this series. I told you on Thursday night, be ready for next Wednesday, a big base hit. It's going through your mind. It will walk you back through this. Game number 1, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 1-1. And coming up is the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the lineup. And that's what I forgot to ask Bullseye. I apologize. I've got to talk. I'll have to talk to him later about that. We think it was an intentional hit by pitch. We talked about it. It's kind of funny. Pernica gets out for out 1, and then Jacob Faltasek steps up and hits a 1-out double. And then all of a sudden a mound visit, and the first pitch, Peterson gets hit again. And it was kind of weird, but made sense. We're going to put in the force play, and in steps Brady Peters. What's going through your mind as you step up knowing, okay, we got a force out at any base, but a base hit wins this with Faltasek at second base. What's going through Brady Peters' head as you step in there with the chance to win this game?
I knew I had to do my job. I was preparing for that at bat from when I was in the 4-hole, just staying to my plan, trying to get something 4, 5, 6 and draft the other way. And, yeah, just drop.
A pitch like that, you go out and get it and go with it. When you hit it, did you know it was going to drop? What's going as that ball makes contact?
They were playing back the whole game, and that wind was blowing in a little bit. So off the bat, I was just running, hoping it would get down, and it dropped.
As you round first, if you hit first base and see Faltasek scoring, now what's going through Brady Peters' mind?
I had a lot of adrenaline, but
I think you ended up down the left field line faster than I've ever seen any Georgetown Eagle.
Oh yeah,
Coach Vierra standing at the third base coaching box going, like, hey, come back. We got to shake hands. It was a fun experience. The fans exploded in the stands. In a game like that, it's just a confidence that it's time to go do my job? Is there nerves in it? As you stepped into that box, was it, man, I'm nervous. What am I going to do? What do I do? Or is it a confidence that, hey, it's my turn and I need to step up?
I mean, it's kind of like a situation you always like dream about being in, but I mean, at the same time, it's just another at bat. So, yeah.
Now we go game 2. We skip over that. We lost 6-2 at College Station. We come back home. Game 3. Brady Peters goes, I believe, 3 for 3 or 4 for 4? 3 for 3. You walked in the first inning and then went 3 for 3. But then some plays over at third base. Some line drives, snagging balls on the ground, throwing out Bents on one of those. Seemed like everything was clicking in game 3 for you. One of those moments as a senior, you stepped up to a fan, to someone that gets to watch all these games from a outsider's perspective, watching and calling this ball game. It seemed like that moment came to you, and you just stepped up and just led this team like you want your seniors to, like a coach would dream a senior would step up. How much fun was game 3?
It was a lot of fun. I didn't want it to be my last baseball game, so I just dialed in and everyone just played loose, and it was a lot of fun.
You stepped in, first at bat, you end up scoring one of the 3 runs there in the first inning. After you came up with that, it seemed like everything, it's almost like it looked like it was a beach ball coming to you. Every time you put a swing on it, it was a clear base hit. It wasn't that one got through, they couldn't make a good play on it. It was a clean base hit. How much fun was that? Did it seem like the ball was coming in easier or faster, or what was going on?
It looked like a beach ball up there, and I was just trying to drive something up the middle every at bat, and yeah.
How do you channel that now as you move to a series like Lake Creek? At this point, we've talked about it before with Coach Vierra and you guys. As you move on to the playoffs, good teams is all you're going to face at this point. Good quality baseball teams. No one has lucked through to the third round at this point. They've had to play good quality opponents in advance. You're stepping into another one. How do you channel that, and how do you lead this team and as one of the leaders and seniors on this team to get you guys ready for tomorrow night and let that momentum carry over?
I mean, we know we're a good ball club. We've put the work in, put the hours in, and we're just going to go out there and leave it all on the field.
You said one day talking about that, I didn't want this to be my last ball game. I asked Devin about it, and you guys have a confidence in you, no matter if it's been Nolan John Dahl, Riley Leininger, David Fluitt, Kyle Ropolo, yourself on the mound. You guys seem to have a confidence about this pitching staff, and the pitching staff can go further. Noah Boris comes in and throws a 3-up, 3-down inning to end game 3 to move on. To have that mindset knowing, hey, I don't want this to be my last ball game. As a senior, what's going through your mind when you know the sophomore on this team is going to step on the mound? Do you wave in any of that confidence, or is it, man, I know if anyone's going to be on the mound, it's going to be him, and we got his back, and he's got ours?
I mean, no matter who's on the mound, no matter who's in the box, we're going to have confidence. We're going to have their back. So I wouldn't say we lost anything.
David comes out and pitches a game like that. You came in game number 1. No, Kyle came in game 1. In a game like that where you got to warm up there at 1 inning in a game 3. Coach goes out to a mound visit. We play hey, here comes the call to the bullpen as you're throwing and warming up on the side. What goes through your mind there? Hey, am I going in? Am I not? Are you just ready no matter what if the ball comes to your
I was trying to get my arm hot. I threw about like 4 bullpens the last 2 days trying to just get my name called. But, yeah, I was ready for the moment.
Coach let David carry it out. Man, did he ever do a great job. 6 innings of beautiful pitching. And then defensively, this team, how do you guys, as a senior, you watch that now as you step back and look at game 3 and how easy it would have been to kind of shy away after a game 2 loss and get disappointed in yourselves and get down on yourselves? How much fun is it now to look back and be like, that's the team that we've got to be each and every game and know that y'all can respond no matter what the adversity is?
I mean, I think it just shows the team we really are and the team we can be.
How was the celebration Saturday night after a game like that for you personally? I know you guys, and you can talk to any player on this team. You guys always talk about it. Oh, it's not about me, this team. We have fun. We trust in each other, the coaching staff. How fun was that? You sat there. I guarantee you did, because I did it as a kid. I know Jordon did it with his dad growing up. After you have a great game like that, you have that conversation. You sit down with your dad at home. How much fun was that thinking back on a performance like that in game 3? Sometimes it's our job to congratulate you, and it's our job to shine the spotlight on when you have a great game, and that's what we're going to do, and you deserve it. How much fun was it to sit there with your dad and talk about, hey, man, that was a dream game as a senior to make sure I did my part to make sure this team went on?
It was pretty cool just reflecting on it, but we also realized that our job's not finished yet, and, I mean, we won game 3, but the future is the only thing that matters.
Game 1 starts tomorrow night against the Lake Creek Lions, and I didn't expect a different answer out of this kid. I don't expect a different answer out of any of these kids. It's always about this team, and it's time to turn it back around and get ready. After you wipe that off and you guys head back to the field on Monday, how has practice been this week for you guys as you get ready?
We've been trying to focus on the details, just little things, and getting better.
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, first pitch. You ready for Lake Creek?
Yes, sir.
Brady Peters, number 4 on your Georgetown lineup. Shout-outs before I let you go.
Shout out all my grandparents. Shout out my aunt and uncle. Shout out Houston, Nash, crew, Ayla, and Jake Bachman.
Yeah, Jake, and the crowd tonight. And it's awesome. I got to meet a lot of your family this past week. They were and had a good time meeting a lot of the Peters family, and it's awesome the support you guys have from your family near and far. And so thanks to Brady Peters. Mr. Ranger is so you hear it on the broadcast, Ranger. That's Brady Peters, number 4. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll take a quick break here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with Coach Vierra live here from the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street. Back here at the Golden Rule, 606 South Church Street, proud sponsor of the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live on SHN. Coach Vierra joins us again. And remember, this weekend's baseball series of the regional quarterfinals against the Lake Creek Lions will be live on SHN. If you can't be out at the field, you got family near and far, tell them to join in. It's brought to you by an anonymous donor and is just showing their appreciation for all the sponsors this year that have supported Georgetown Eagle Baseball. And so Kelly Duvall will produce us a commercial just to thank all of those sponsors in our commercial. But I tell you what, ATC Contractors, Inc., Warren Law PC have sponsored the first 2 rounds, and we are so appreciative that keep bringing you Georgetown Eagle Playoff Baseball free on SHN. And SHN will also have the Georgetown Lady Eagle Softball free live on SHN. Rob Hipp is going to come back in town and cover the Georgetown Lady Eagles. He got that in. They reached out to him, and he got it put in and won that broadcast rights. And so Rob will be there in Mumford to bring you Lady Eagle Softball. So join in on both of those broadcasts if you can't be there at Mumford, Texas. It is in the middle of nowhere. And someone told me that. It was kind of funny. They were like, man, you're going to be driving like a bunch of pastures, and then there's just going to be this beautiful school. And so I looked on Google Maps, and I kept zooming in, and I was like, there's a lot of pastures and then this school.
Yep.
And so we will be out in the middle of nowhere, Mumford, Texas. So hopefully, I'm going to say it now that I thought about it, we will have every bit of Wi-Fi hotspot ready to go. So hopefully the signal works well in Mumford, and we can get a close enough tower to get good signal to bring you all of the games. Hopefully just 2 quick ones and get out of there and not have to go back to Mumford on Saturday. But if you do, we'll be in Mumford, Texas for all 3. Come join us. Be blue, wear loud, something. You say it every week.
Show up, be loud, wear blue.
Every week.
Let's go.
Bring out that crowd. And we know the super fan, John Peters, will be there with the war paint. His wife did confirm it is in the purse, ready to go. So it will not be forgotten.
Stripe up, baby. Stripe it up.
The Georgetown Eagle Ultimate Warrior with the stripes down. It'll be awesome to enjoy. Coach, you talk about a season like this. We discussed a little bit earlier. You talked 5-10 coming out of district play, out of tournament play. Every reason for this team to be down on themselves, to be frustrated with the outlook of a season after what Georgetown did last year, going 35-7. But this team has clearly established an identity of their own.
Yeah.
I was talking with the John Dolls before this, listening online. Westlake graduates 23 seniors. I thought 14 was a lot last year. Westlake will have 23 seniors in uniform in their series against Round Rock this weekend. And it's like, man, you talk about teams that take an identity. That team next year will have its own identity when 23 seniors walk away. This team has established its identity through district and the way they have rebounded from what could have been a devastating non-district, and you set that up. And we talk about that and play tough competition, and it readies this team. And I think that's shown clearly through adversity faced on Friday night at A&M Consolidated. As you see this team now, as we go to the 3rd round of the playoffs, what goes through the coaching staff's mind as you see a confidence in them that is different from last year's team, of these leaders that have taken over? A Devin Peterson that stepped up in the outfield as a guy that's taken control of that as the kind of the captain of the outfield.
Yeah.
As you see a Brady Peterson and Eli Hellman on the left side supporting underclassmen, juniors and sophomores over on the right side of the infield. But and then a Chance Pernicka behind the plate to corral this pitching staff and lead them. What goes through the coaching staff's mind as if you've watched this season play out? You can't predict any season. You can say, this is going to be a good team. We should have a good run. This team's established that identity. What goes through you and Coach Payne, Darrell, and Coach Cockrell's mind now as you sit back and look at this as we go to round 3?
All right. The big thing for us is it's what's special is these guys could have just gone away and just packed it in. And what's been special is these guys haven't ever allowed an opportunity to pass. They learned from the grind of the tournament season. They learned from a couple mistakes throughout the course of district, and they've continued to grow and continue to learn. Our seniors have done a phenomenal job of buying into their role, whatever that role is. Right? We got some seniors that are in the lineup every day. We got other seniors who are great teammates that don't get in very often. And they've totally bought into whatever that role is, whatever the coaches have asked them to do, and that's really shown throughout the underclassmen as well of them buying into their role and going from there. What makes it special is whenever you have a clubhouse full of guys that trust you, and these guys. I believe they trust the coaching staff very well, and we got a great relationship with them. They're open and honest with us when it comes to having conversations about the things that are going on and off the field, and they've bought in and they have continued to absolutely grind. This group is a very special group to me personally. I know they are to the remainder of the coaching staff as well, but to watch them not stop at any point and just to continue to grow and grow and grow, mature, they've left a pretty special mark on the G moving forward, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to watch them continue to keep going through the tournament.
We take on this Lake Creek Lion team out of Montgomery. Not many like opponents that we faced off against them. A couple of opponents here and there where we seem to be pretty even with what they did with those opponents, unlike what we've seen with Navarro and when we had like opponents. As you see a team like this that likes to run, do you change – is the philosophies changed? Is everything just, hey, next opponent up, we don't worry about the name on their uniform, we go out and play our game?
Yeah, I mean, we are who we are, right? We don't compete against another team. Now, are there things that we learn to figure out what are things that they like to do? Absolutely, right? We have a scouting report just like anybody else. But what we do well is what we do well, and that's what we're going to continue to try and do. We're not going to try and take our guys and mutate them into a totally different brand of baseball in a week. It's not something that vies well for success. Our objective is to go out and pound the strike zone. Our objective is to go play clean defense, to know where the ball's supposed to go, to be able to pitch it and throw it where it needs to happen, and then to be able to have quality at bats, right? Hit the ball in the barrel, get on first base, move runners, do the little things right, and then ultimately be able to run the bases really well. And so I think that it doesn't matter if it's Consolidated, if it's Lake Creek, if it's Westlake. I mean, you figure out who you want to call them. We're playing against the game of baseball. We're not playing against an opponent. But with that being said, we've watched plenty, and we really like our chances with these guys. We got a scrappy group of dudes that want to get after it, and they want to keep competing. I'm excited about another week.
How does this series pan out? Game one, are we home visitor?
So we'll be home in Thursday and Saturday. So we were able to win both those flips to make that happen. So on Friday we will be the visitors.
So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, first pitch will be at Mumford High School. Georgetown, the home team, I would assume will be in the third base dugout, but every field it seems
Correct.
we'll get that pick. And that's where our normal home life is, at home at the Eagle Field. And so join us there at Mumford High School for game number one tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, first pitch, 6:45. The starting pitcher for your Georgetown Eagles will be announced like usual about 5 minutes before when we read the lineup across. How much confidence does that give you and this coaching staff to know you go against a team like A&M Consolidated and some of their players talked and some of their parents and coaches talked after the game to us about, you have a couple of arms to ride and a Lake Creek team that comes out with a couple of guys that they've ridden all year.
Yeah.
What kind of confidence does that give you knowing that you guys have always had a three-man rotation to be able to go into no matter who goes what day on a series, to know that when it comes down to a pitching matchup, we tend to have an advantage there?
Right. For us, it's all about developing a pitching staff. That's always what it's been about. Fortunately, we got a lot of guys that want to pitch and that are able to pitch and that are able to throw strikes. We got a great pitching coach in Coach Payne, the work that he does and the time that he spends with those guys. And so we're always trying to have three guys that can start, three guys that have the ability to go out and start and that have experience doing that. And then we are always going to try and manage a bullpen, right? Have 4 to 6 guys that we really trust to say, here's the ball, go throw a bunch of strikes. Regardless of what that role is, because our goal isn't to win one game. It's not to win a tournament game. It's not to win a district game. It's to win a state championship. And in order to do that, you got to have a staff. You can't just have one dude. There's very few teams that have had one dude that have been able to just make the run and flip and win every one and make it a one-game series and let that guy go get it. We understand that. To compound that with the fact that the last time that we had a guy that was below 95 was like 20 years ago, and so we don't have those guys anymore as of yet. If you throw 95 and you're going to be an Eagle, let's go. But we don't have those kind of guys, and so for us to be able to put a pitching staff together is a huge deal for us, and so we're really excited about it.
You had some relief work done over Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Kyle Ropolo came in game one in relief of Nolan John Dahl. Ends up picking up the win in the way the game went, but did a great job. You get Noah Boris to come in 3 up, 3 down in game number 3 to shut that down. How much confidence does that bleed to this team to know that coming out of the bullpen, any arm you could go to, you have so many different options?
It's huge. with the guys that we have that are ready to rock and roll, I mean, and then you got Cooper Ashby who came in and on Friday night, and he did a great job as well. You know, he hadn't been out there quite a bit, and we reached a point in the game where we had to make a decision on what we wanted to do and flip Cooper out there, and Cooper might as well have saved the series for us with what he did, extending the life of the bullpen by him going out and throwing as many strikes as he did. And so, you know, we have a number of guys that we genuinely trust to say, hey, here's the baseball, go get it, big man. And we trust that they're going to be able to attack strike zone. And, you know, when you have a plethora of guys like that to be able to say, we want that guy and we're going to trust him, well, it gives the team plenty of confidence. And, hey, we trust this guy's going to go put us to work, and they do.
7:42. We did a pretty good time tonight. We can get out of here on time. David Fluitt joined us tonight. Brady Peters joined us tonight. And Devin Peterson, thanks for coming and joining with us next week. We're going to plan to be back. Let's go out and win a couple of games over the Lake Creek Lions and come back and do another week live here at the Golden Rule. Thanks to the Golden Rule, to Mikey and the staff for sponsoring and bringing us this opportunity to be here on the patio and enjoy a great night here at the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. And to these young men, continue to go out and perform. Come support them tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday if needed at Mumford High School. Not too far down the road. Come enjoy it. We'll all be there and wearing blue to cheer on these Georgetown Eagles. To our sponsors that bring you free baseball, thank you so much. ATC Contractors, Inc., to Warren Law PC, and to this week our anonymous donors for the rest of the playoffs. We have an anonymous donor that is taking care of it as they reach out to thank all the sponsors of Georgetown Eagle Baseball. So many people out there that just appreciate what you guys do and want to support you guys and this team. And so we are super appreciative of them. As we sign off tonight, come out to Mumford. What is it?
Show up, be loud, wear blue.
Mumford High School tomorrow night, 7 o'clock first pitch. Come join us. If you can't, we'll be live 6:45 pregame on SHN to bring you all of Georgetown Eagle regional quarterfinal action against the Lake Creek Lions. Thanks for joining us live here from the Golden Rule on the Eagle Baseball. Say it one more time. I was talking.
EFND and blue.
EFND, bleed blue. We'll call it here tonight. You can't get much better than that. Mr. Jameson said it, EFND. Thanks for joining us tonight. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.
The Golden Rule, the official sponsor of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, is located at 606 South Church Street in Georgetown, Texas. Eats, drinks, unmatched atmosphere. Above all else, goodwill, friendship, and kind regard.